Today we're going to be working on something I know as a octagram, and I borrowed this idea from friend Clarrisa Grandi, who runs something called Artful Math. It's not too difficult, and there's a couple different ways to work on or make it, and let's get started. So this is it basically, and let me show you how it's going to work. So what we'll do is we'll start by our usual method of making a square piece of paper, because that's basically what we need to start with. So, and we usually do this sort of thing, you know, fold the one corner over, but this time when we do it, I just want to do a light fold like this, and then hang on to the end and cut it. I don't want to do a very hard fold because I don't want that crease to show up too much. And it's not going to have too much of an effect if you're off just a little bit. So that's pretty close, I think. My cut's a little off there, but that's okay. That'll work. So now what we want to do is make, we'll fold it over a little bit because I need to make the midpoint. Okay, so we'll go like this. Right, one way, and we'll go like this the other way, very lightly. Okay, and there we are so far. So I do have a midpoint right here, and I need to draw my halfway lines, my midpoint lines. So as I folded it, I have a crease in the middle of the page, and I've done made a little mark there, a little mark there, and I'm just going to join them up. And you don't want to do dark lines here. You want to be able to, you want lighter lines so that you can erase them. Okay, and then when I folded it this way, I'm just marking the spot where I see the fold on the end, and it is kind of hard to see it. And I want to go like this. There it is right there. Okay. And you see my dots off a little bit, and that's okay too. That shouldn't matter too much. So now what I want to do is I want to do lines on the vertices, okay, from the corners, from each corner in. So I'll do my best to go from corner to corner. All right, that's why you need a long ruler for this. And so far my middle is lining up okay. And then I want to go from the other corner across to the far corner. So just doing opposite corners, right? And it looks like my fold is actually bang on. Now, that's pretty good. That doesn't always work out. So now from here, there's two things to do. All right, so basically we've divided the page up equally. Okay, there's actually 8 equal pieces. It should be equal anyway. So we have the horizontal, vertical, and the diagonal pieces going that way. Now there's 2 ways of doing this. If you have a compass, okay, what you're going to do is put your compass point in the middle and go to one of your edges like this, okay, and it should actually reach all the edges pretty close. That one's off just a little bit. And what you're going to do is just draw a light circle around it, and the diagonals are the ones where you want to mark. Okay, like this. That's where you need a mark, because you want the same distance all the way around. That's why you want to have a circle. Right, so your diagonal lines is where you're going to have the marks going around. Or if you want, you can just draw a whole circle. Right, you can just draw the whole circle around. It might be a little light in my my video, but okay, we just draw the whole circle. That works as well, just as easy. If you don't have a compass, it's not that hard. What you need to do is measure the middle to the edge of the page. Right, from the middle to the edge of the page, and I'm going to do it from this side. And this is, let's say I have 11 centimeters, and I'm just going to use that one side, right? So if it's 11 centimeters from here to here, it needs to be 11 centimeters from the middle to outside on the diagonal line as well. Okay, so I turn my ruler and then I make a mark at 11 centimeters, right, which is off a little bit compared to the circle with the compass, but that's okay. And then you do the same thing on each diagonal line, and you want it to be the same. Right, so I do my 11 centimeters here, I do my 11 centimeters on this one, right, and I do my 11 centimeters on this one. Okay, so now I have a mark here, and you want to always draw lightly because you may have to erase these lines. Okay, so now I have those lines as well. So now what we're going to do is we are going to we'll pick a starting point. Let's say we start here on the right hand side, this spot right here. We're going to draw a line that goes from here through that point, and a line that goes from here through that point. Okay, so we do that through on every horizontal and vertical line. Okay, so I'll start with this one. So I start here, and now that point that we just drew, right, the spot that was even all the way around, right, even distance from here to here to here, as if we drew a circle around it. We're drawing a line from there, the edge of the page where the horizontal line is, through that line like this. Okay, and then we do another one through the bottom one, and then you can turn the page, or you can do it from one way. I like to turn the page because it's just easier to do. So the same thing, from each point on the edge of the page, you're drawing a line through the opposite point that you used to make, that you marked off with either your compass or the distance. Okay, so I'm going to turn it again. We're almost there. And I go this way. And I draw it light because I'm going to go over it with marker after. I draw it this way, and I have one more. So from here, through that point, and here, through this point. Okay, so now I have a bunch of lines, but you can already see the shape forming. Okay, now I need to go over my lines with a marker. And normally I wait when I'm doing marker lines. I normally wait and color and then do the marker lines. But for this one, so it's not confusing, you want to do the marker lines first. Okay, and you can go with the same. You can go with the same way you drew your pencil lines, but don't go past the points on the circle. Don't go past those points right there. Okay, you're not going to go past them. So if I start on this edge this time, so I can see and you can see, and I want to go, I'm just going to do this freehand. I suggest you use a ruler. I'm going to go up to there, and I'm going to stop. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one down here. I'll do it from the top. So I'm going to go from here. And all the way to there and stop. Okay. Now let's do this point. So I'm going to go from here to there and stop. So from here to there, and I'm going to stop. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And there, so you're doing all the same points that you just drew your lines on. Right? So let's go this. So I did this one, I did this one. Let's do this one. I'll do it from the bottom. It's easier for you to see. Right. I should use a ruler on this, but just so that you can see where I'm drawing it. That's why I'm not using a ruler. There's that one. And then there's this one. Oh, that one's way off. I'm going to turn this way. Okay, so now, actually, I made a mistake. We do want to go all the way through because I need to split the end up. Anyway, this is an 8-sided star. It's pretty cool. But you do want to extend those lines all the way because you want to have that flare on the edge of the page. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so this one goes all the way through as well. And if you've already done these lines, it's just easy to extend them. Alright, you just extend them out. It does look a lot better when you extend the lines out to the edge of the page. And that's it. There it is. So now what you do is you color in a pattern. Before you do that, you want to erase the lines. As I say, I can't find my eraser. So you want to erase the lines that you've drawn through here, right? All your measurement lines, the vertices going, lines going from vertice to vertice, lines going the horizontal line and the vertical line. Right, erase all those, just so they don't show up. And if you've drawn your circle, then you want to erase your circle as well. Okay. So it's not. This is not that difficult. It does look much better when you use a ruler. So then what you do after that is you pick a pattern of some kind, and then you color it. And what the neat thing is about this is you can almost use it to make a type of a quilt. So if you make smaller squares, right, like if you divide your page up into 4 equal squares, and make each square maybe a different pattern, then you can put the 4 back together, or you can make even more to make a bigger design similar to like a quilt. And that looks pretty cool. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for joining me.